Yeah. Get that shit. Let me twerk that shit. Set it on my face. Pop that pussy. Pop that pussy. Pop that pussy. Pop that pussy. Yeah. Get that shit. Let me twerk that shit.
Me, Kova, and my husband Jen, we all got to make them. What do you think, honey?
Everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. Can you hear me okay? Make sure you can hear me. It's important. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Just want to make sure. Yep. All right. All good. I'm just making sure my video's up. Skip. All right. So I didn't have a video for today just because kids are home sick and just taking care of kids, and I've been wanting to do this live for a while anyway, and so it's about time we talked about the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni. I wanted to let it ride out a little bit too before I got into it because I am a huge Ryan Reynolds fan. Like I am absolutely a massive Ryan Reynolds fan. Not only is he Canadian, but I think he's hilarious. He's a good businessman, good actor. He's a good writer. I didn't want to believe it. You ever think of someone a certain way and then you just don't want to be bothered to like change your mind about them. But man, after seeing all this, like, I'm not saying that Ryan Reynolds is as to blame as Blake Lively in this whole scenario. I don't think that's the case. Hold on, I'm going to close this. But, like, I think there's something here. And I don't know everything, so I'm going to rely on a crowdsourced conversation with you. This is what we do here in the Dad Challenge Podcast. I don't know everything. I've got some notes, and we're going to go through the notes. But I'll give you what I know, and I know that most of you will know way more about this than I will. We're going to look at the text messages. We're going to look from the beginning, where this all went, and what it kind of means. You think, so Al, I think it's Al, or AI, thinks that Ryan is driving the bus on the whole thing. I mean, Ryan Reynolds has the most to lose in this. Blake Lively, Blake Lively, I was only a fan of Blake Lively because she was married to Ryan Reynolds, right? And they've been married for quite a long time, and it seems like they have a successful marriage. I also was a huge fan of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds because they were protecting their kids from media and everything else, and I kind of liked their stance on that. Yeah, I think this is going to pop up a lot, that Ryan Reynolds was jealous a lot. Somebody says, no, Blake is driving this whole thing. Here's my take on it, as far as I'm aware. Blake's driving. Ryan is being forced to be put in the middle, using his clout and his Hollywood power to try to shut it up and close it down. And Blake did this. I think Blake did it all. And Ryan just kind of had to step in and be like, all right, well, it's my wife. You just have to. It's your wife. You don't throw your wife under the bus. You protect your wife. Blake is a snake, and that rhymes with Drake. Yes, this is kind of funny, I thought. That Ryan made the character Nice Pool. And the connection is quite crazy because Deadpool is awesome. But if you watch the video, if you watch the movie, Nice Pool is based on Justin Baldoni, allegedly. And he gets killed outside of a flower shop, which has connections to the movie. And, like, Blake Lively's character in Deadpool is the one that kills him. So, like, there's some... Like, that goes deep. This is such an insane story. I read Justin was a snake. So, Erica Hinkle. This is kind of where this all started. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure you will, okay? But at the beginning, Blake laid out all this stuff, and she was, like, filing a lawsuit and going in the court of public opinion using Me Too to trash Justin Baldoni because they were having a fallout over this movie, which I've never seen, nor will I ever see, okay? But people automatically believed Blake Lively because that is the way of the world. That is where we are in this era of Me Too that we live in right now. And New York Times wrote an article about it, and it was like 4,000 words. And she weaponized the New York Times to go after Justin Baldoni, right? Candace Owens apparently has the receipts. I've not seen Candace Owens' take on this. I watched... Whose take did I watch on this? I forget whose take I watched on it, but I watched someone's take on it, for sure. Blake Lively and Amber Heard, people are saying very similar. My theory is Blake and Justin had an affair. For Blake to save her reputation, that was the outcome. I mean, dang. It would make Blake and Justin look bad. So, I mean, I can't say that that's not out of the realm of possibility. Because you look at the text messages. Blake was emotionally attracted to Justin to find out this and blow out. Now, here's the thing. I think that Ryan Reynolds strikes me as a kind of guy that is pretty confident in himself. And he does not strike me as a super jealous dude. Like, I think he makes fun of himself. He's very good at making fun of himself. He doesn't, like, I don't see it being a jealousy thing. I think maybe in the end a little bit after he uncovered what happened, but I don't think this all came down because of jealousy. I think Blake started this whole process, and then it just got way out of hand because she thought, New York Times on her side, Taylor Swift's on my side. She's got her dragons that are on her side, or dragon slayers, or whatever they're called, on her side. And apparently Taylor Swift in the middle of this is quite crazy because, like, they were arguing over songs and music, and Taylor Swift allowed her music to be put in it. It's crazy. What's going on with my video over there? So in the end, I think, yeah, maybe. In the end, I think that this is a Blake Lively issue. I don't think that she's probably going to get... I don't know if she can recover from this. This is a pretty big deal. But if you look at Amber Heard, she's still working. She still gets jobs. Right? Taylor was upset that Blake called her a dragon. She's in it. Taylor and Blake are besties, or were besties. So Taylor getting booed at the Super Bowl, a lot of people are saying that is because of the Blake Lively drama. I don't think so. I just think it was heavily Philadelphia fans booing Taylor because she used to be a Philly fan, and people were just sick of seeing her, and so they just booed her. I don't know if maybe it had to do with this, but I don't think the NFL crosses over into Hollywood tea and drama. I don't think that's my opinion. Taylor Swift, yeah, I think, is taking a step back from their friendship. I think that's what the public is calling it. So Lolly Max says, I think Ryan is jealous, controlling man. He's in charge of this mess. The whole Nice Pool thing is creepy. That's true. I'll give you that. I'll give you that the Nice Pool thing was likely not Blake Lively writing that stuff in. That was Ryan Reynolds writing that in. I'll give you that. I will give you that. Taylor was involved during some private meetings as intimidation. Like, who's intimidated by Taylor Swift? What's she gonna do? Taylor Swift, man. No, I don't think it was because she endorsed. No, I don't think so. Definitely watch Candace Owens. Justin used her info for his new lawsuit. Okay. I'm happy to watch Candace Owens and get it all. That's sure, but that's why I want to have a conversation with you guys. I think having this conversation is really important. I think that I love doing this where you guys provide me with what you know and I provide you with what I know or my take on that thing. So I heard it speculated that Blake had a crush on Justin and he shot her down. Maybe. I think Blake Lively is gorgeous, by the way. Let me put that out there into the ether for now. Blake Lively, damn. Okay. But this definitely casts ugliness on her for sure. So here's my notes on this. So if you guys are new to the Blake Lively drama, and you're probably not, from what I gather, Justin gets the rights to this film, to the rights to the book that this is based on, and Blake kind of comes in and like takes over. She I guess wants to be like a Ryan Reynolds type of thing. She wants to start, being a heavy hitter in Hollywood, and decides that she's going to take over this thing. And Baldoni is kind of like a nice guy in this because he's kind of passive. And if you know anything about Justin Baldoni, you've seen in his interviews, he's not built for Hollywood. He doesn't have a thick skin. He's a feminist. He's very standoffish. He's very, I don't know how else to explain it. He's not a go-getter. Like, he's not a hardcore tough guy. He's just a nice dude. That's what I'm seeing. And then the whole cast, eventually this all comes to a fruition where the whole cast unfollows Baldoni. The whole cast. Now, even if Blake Lively is wrong in all this, how did she convince the entire cast to unfollow Baldoni? That's a question for people. If Justin Baldoni is innocent in all this, and it sounds like he is, I'm saying that's what I'm saying, how does she get the whole entire cast to go against Justin Baldoni? That's a question I have. This made Justin look good. I think jealousy initiated this whole thing. Ryan's ex-wife, Scarlett Johansson, was also working with Justin on the project. He was married to Scarlett Johansson. I didn't even know that. She had her pick of the cast. Apparently, too, that they pushed out some music so they could put Taylor Swift's music in it, too. Yeah. I think that Blake Lively has a lot of power because of who Ryan Reynolds is, not because of who Blake Lively is. Like, she's from Gossip Girl, did a couple things. She's not that big of a star. Ryan Reynolds is probably, of all the A-listers in Hollywood, top 10. I think we could all agree that he's top 10 A-lister, right? So he's got the power. And she was like, go get him, honey, using Ryan Reynolds as the pit bull. Hollywood is still reeling after the Me Too discovery, so maybe that's why they automatically sided with her. Initially, I would also side. And I think the internet did side with Blake Lively until Justin Baldoni released all the receipts. But I have also heard that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are trying to get him to like shut up and take the stuff off the internet, and like they're trying to gag him in court, and it didn't work because they have like 10 times more power and money than Justin Baldoni does, if not 100 times more. And then he launches a lawsuit for $400 million. Isn't that crazy? Ryan cheated on Scarlett Johansson with Blake Lively? I didn't know that. What the hell? Ryan, man. Why you gotta be like that? Damn, man. You think someone's nice. What the hell? I didn't know that. Justin has a multi-billionaire in his team helping him. Okay. Okay, here's some more notes here. I got some. So anyway, that happens. Everybody in the cast follows Baldoni. He wasn't on the press tour, which everybody thought was kind of weird. And then then Blake's press tour was about the florals and promoting her new hair care line. And Baldoni was using his opportunity to talk about domestic violence, which again is what the movie is kind of based around, that theme. Where he's like taking it seriously about the theme of the film. She's out there promoting hair care products. She's basically a female Ryan Reynolds. Justin has the rights to the second book. I think Jade. I think Justin has the rights to all the books, if I'm not mistaken. I think the way Ryan treats Blake in public isn't very kind. The humor between them, it's like constantly putting her down. I don't know how. I don't know any of that. I know that Ryan Reynolds is a comedian, and so that could be part of it, and maybe they have this banter. Some people think... I made fun of my wife one time because she thinks the couch is going to catch fire if you put it over a thing, and I made fun of her on a live once, and my wife and I banter back and forth all the time, and people were like, oh my god, Josh is an abusive asshole! I'm like, that's not it at all. Like, she She gives as good as she takes. And so I don't know. I don't know, though. Maybe he goes a little too far. I don't know that. Justin's attorney is also Megyn Kelly's attorney. She had him on her show a couple weeks ago talking about this. He's a pit bull. Okay. I mean, how's he affording this lawyer? That's because isn't he like, apparently that's crazy. The couch debacle. Couch gate. So funny. So anyway, here's some more notes. Here's some more notes on it. So then Blake's then started seeing leaks, like text messages and leaks from Blake's camp on this, which was super silly. Right? If you think about this for a second, if you're going to release selected leaks, right, from your text messages and all this kind of stuff, you gotta, like, do you not know that he's going to have receipts as well? That's the thing that really set me, I'm like, how dumb are you? These people are the most powerful, one of the most powerful couples in Hollywood. And they don't know that when they're going to release selective leaks, that he's just going to come out with receipts. Because once Justin Baldoni released all his receipts, as far as I can see, everything changed. She didn't even read the book. Damn. She took over costume design and directing scenes. And this is another thing I heard is that she not wasted, but she put so much budget towards her costume design, that and the music and things that really didn't matter. And Justin Baldoni just kind of went along with all this stuff. Now, they have rights to book 2, and I don't know how this movie is. And I don't know if her character continues on through, but what are the odds that it's going to be Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively for book 2? I don't think so. Oh, they didn't expect his lawyer to help Justin, I see. And he's probably doing it pro bono or for a cut of the winnings. Yeah, this is it. Someone just wrote a good point. Curly Beauty Blogger says because they're so powerful, they thought they could get away with anything. That's a great point. I think that's right. She wants the rights. It's been publicized. Okay. Because, yeah, it looks like she wanted to take over the whole thing. But if he has the rights, I mean, he could sell the rights, but he looks like he doesn't want to sell the rights. It looks like they had a massive falling out, burned their bridges, and they don't want to do it together anymore. Although I will say Justin Baldoni is a handsome devil. Can we be real? Yeah. So, anyway, head full of marbles. Check out Brendan Sklenar. He supported Blake publicly, and now he hasn't had all these roles lined up and got signed to our agendas. That's why the cast sided with Blake, bunch of bootlickers. So I think what you're saying is that to side with Blake, they were siding with Ryan Reynolds, which was good for their careers. 20. The sweat emoji. The guy's got great facial hair. Can we agree? I wish I had that kind of facial hair. He's got good bone structure. Yeah, that's good points. So Blake's attitude starts to shift. She was not being kind to interviewers, like they were being awkward. The interviews were there's an interview about her being like, oh, I can see your baby bump. And then Blake goes crazy. I honestly, you think people are nice until you see these weird interviews where they're super cringy. And she does this thing. And I know you probably should never call out a girl who's not pregnant or is pregnant. Maybe you should just shut your mouth about the pregnancy thing. I get that. But damn, that was super awkward if you haven't seen that. And then the movie drops, and apparently the movie is super successful. It's great. And they do a movie premiere, and Justin Baldoni is literally hanging out in the basement with his friends. They relegated this guy to the basement. How did Blake Lively think that was going to go over? Again, when you're so powerful that you think you're untouchable, it's when you fall the hardest. I did not see any of the behind-the-scenes stuff. Nothing. Oh, we're knee-deep in snow, Angelique. And we're about to get another 1.5 foot snow tonight. There is not going to be school tomorrow, that's for sure. I feel like that comment that lady made was not out of pocket, and her pregnancy was public. Okay. Yeah, I, as a dude, I'm just going to be like, I believe you, but I still probably wouldn't. Unless it was like fully everybody knew, and we're all like, let's talk about baby bumps. I just still wouldn't. But the movie was so mid, probably because it was her cut. Probably, yeah, and this is another thing. There was multiple cuts made, and everybody preferred Justin Baldoni's cut of this movie, but they obviously chose Blake's because Blake has more power. So I hope that Justin Baldoni releases his cut of the film. I'll watch it. The movie was terrible, was it? Yeah, Blake had just publicly announced her pregnancy, and the interviewer was congratulating her. And then so she got upset? That's really weird. She was 8 months pregnant. See? This is why I don't know shit, and you guys are here for me. I'm trying to be like, maybe I'll give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we'll do the underdog thing, which I'm not generally that guy. That's usually my wife. But like, what? Say what? Blake wanted humor in a DV movie. I mean, apparently Ryan Reynolds had his hand in this film as well, because obviously Ryan Reynolds is a very successful filmmaker, writer. He's good at what he does, and he probably had his hand in that. That was probably his take. Let's add a little humor to this. She accused him of SA, thinking the Me Too peeps would be on her side. Yeah, this is the crazy thing, Gina. Gina. This is the thing. Like, accusing him of SA and then having all the receipts leaked, that I think was the guillotine that chopped Blake's head off. That was it. Because she said, why go that far when it really wasn't? Apparently he was commenting on her weight and stuff like that, and it wasn't true. And he was just giving her accolades and saying you're beautiful and everything else. But he said something about being pregnant or something. And it was like, it's nuts. It was nuts. I have notes here on it. She dropped the lawsuit on Christmas Eve. She said that he SA'd her. There's an article written that's called "We Can Bury Anyone Inside of a Hollywood Smear Machine," and she alleged he fat shamed her, that he busted into her trailer while she was breastfeeding and he tried to force sex scenes into the video. That's what she says, and he came out with receipts completely contrary to all of that. She invited him into the trailer, all this kind of stuff, and like he wanted to get a what do you call those people that help sex scenes? What are those people called? They're like sexologists. I don't know what they're called. Therapy sexers. I don't know. But he wanted it. She said no. And they should have got one. You should have one of those on a scene with sex. Dobson's Team Lively? I didn't know that. I should get her on here and we should debate about it. I'm going to see if she'll come on. Intimacy coordinator. That's what it's called. But Blake refused it. I did see that. She would invite him to her trailer when she was pumping. Okay, which, I mean, you can pump under your stuff, I think. Blake is a mean girl. I can see that now, and I honestly believe that. I think that intimacy coordinator, yes. Intimacy coordinator, sexadoodle. We'll call them a sexadoodle. How about that? Yeah, I'll watch Candace Owens, and apparently Candace Owens got scoops on scoops about this whole thing. Blake said he fat shamed her, but he wanted to know how heavy because he had because he didn't have to lift her in a scene. He's like, okay, well, how much do you weigh so I can see if I can do this? Because he doesn't seem like a beefy guy. He's a little bit small. Blake is a real mean girl. Watch the interview with her and Anna Kendrick. Here's the thing about these videos. They make me cringe so hard, but let me look it up. How long is it? 12 minutes! Someone link me where I can go watch this interview. Okay, am I gonna cringe? Ooh. Yeah, this is true. Justin had back problems, which is why he asked about a weight. And again, do it professionally. He's like, look, maybe he didn't clarify that to begin with. Maybe he should have. Wait, what? She made fun of Leighton Meester for being in prison? Who did? Leighton Meester? Don't you come for Leighton Meester. Leighton Meester is hot. I like Leighton Meester. Oh no, it's going to be cringy. She also wanted all of the uncut video they ever took. That's not something actors have access to, and she wouldn't stop until it was sent to her. Again, I think Blake is a little bit power hungry here, knowing having the power she has in her husband. I think so. Oh my gosh, cringy interviews. So, but where this all falls apart is Justin is a super feminist. He has a podcast called called Man Enough. This guy has all the trimmings of someone who is not a misogynist, not someone that she's claiming him to be. But people did fall for the campaign. People hated him online. Everybody, and I was watching on Twitter too about how crazy it got for him, right? Even I was like, okay, how dare you come after Blake Lively? Everybody was like that. And then a couple days before the new year, Justin files against her. Then shit hits the fan. Interview with Megyn Kelly goes off. The lawsuit alleges the New York Times misled the public, which I believe they did. Justin and his friends were put in the basement on the night of the premiere. Once that dropped, everything changed. Then people started connecting the dots to Nice Pool, which, crazy. And now I'm going to have to go back and watch it and see. They got his podcast canceled? Frankie! Did they really? Damn. It's not nice. Not nice at all. They got his podcast canceled? Having Gordon Reynolds in the credits was another crazy piece. Also begging for her part to be included in the movie, then the premiere saying Ryan wrote the scene. Okay. Who's Gordon Reynolds? Is that his dad or something? She got mad the interviewer asked about the fashion, but the interview was for a fashion magazine. Asked the interviewer about the bump when she had struggled about infertility. Oh, yeah, that's another one. 400. Yeah, you know what? Not anymore. I'm going to say it. Ryan Reynolds is tainted after this for me. I did not know he cheated on Scarlett Johansson with Blake Lively. I didn't know that. I can't support that. I can't support that. Donnie, send me it's a 12. Donnie, do you have the interview with her and Anna Kendrick? Because I love Anna Kendrick too. Love me some Anna Kendrick. Just primo. Great singer, great actor. Love her. Nice Pool is a stretch. Can you really go after a character from a movie? I mean, I don't think that it's probably just adding to it. I don't think that that's the main case. I think they're like, hey, look, here's a pattern of behavior, and these are all and they could just say, oh, we didn't know, and you could just say that. But there's a pattern of behavior. I think that's what they're trying to put together. And this isn't even going to court until 2027. So March, I think 2027. Yeah, Simply Solo. I mean. What do I do here now? Ryan, I was a die-hard Ryan Reynolds hardcore fan. I mean, not everybody's perfect. I get that. Hollywood is disgusting, but I thought Ryan rose above all that stuff. I thought he wasn't like that. Man, that really sucks. Yeah, Ashley, I can't. He cheated on Scarlett Johansson? Are you out of your damn mind? Have any of you seen Scarlett Johansson? She seems like a nice lady too. Glad to finally get alive. You officially pulled my husband into the dad challenge world, which is no small feat. Thanks for fighting for all the kids out there. I appreciate you guys, Kat. That's awesome. I never want to dismiss real claims, so it makes it hard about how awful a person is, but you have to make something like this up. That's the thing. If this is true, that they did this wrongly, I don't know how else to say that. If they were wrongly accusing Justin of being this guy, all that does is make it harder for the next person who actually does have a legit claim to stuff like this. People aren't going to believe them because they're going to be like, hey, look, Amber Heard, look, Blake Lively. That's detrimental to the whole thing. I believe that. And as a girl dad, I want my daughter to be believed if she ever has to come forward with something that's done to her like that, right? If they're abusing that system for their own power and stuff like that, that makes it worse for other people. I think we can agree on that. It was intentional and written into the script after it ends with us drama. Okay. That's why they also kept referencing intimacy coordinator. Yeah, okay. Okay, Brooke. Dockery. Too bad your last name's close to Doherty. But good point. My aunt is an actress and was in love scenes with Justin Baldoni. She said he was nothing but respectful. I mean, the guy he looks like a respectful dude. Doesn't look like a misogynist dickhole. And he's pissed because Scarlett's directional debut on her new movie is with Justin's company. Well, where does Ryan get off? Why is Ryan doesn't like that? But where does he get off? He cheated. How did I not know that he cheated on Scarlett? I didn't know he was dating Scarlett Johansson. But like, where does he get off being upset with that? If that's the case. Does anybody here, hands up, do you think Blake Lively can recover from this? I think she might get some roles, 5 years down the road, but do we think that she's over? Like, do we think that this is over? Because Ryan Reynolds is too big to fail, and I mean that. I honestly believe Ryan Reynolds is too big to fail. Okay? I believe it. But some people are saying, no, she's not over. Or, no, she won't get another role. I don't know how I asked that question. So Alex says he's canceled for sure. Calling Lively Amber 2.0 downplays how bad Lively actually did to Baldoni. Amber and Johnny were toxic. Johnny did a lot of not great stuff, but Baldoni did nothing wrong. I agree with that. If Baldoni did nothing and it was just one-sided, you're right. Because Johnny and Amber were toxic mess. They were both pretty guilty. But Amber more guilty, obviously, in the end. Yeah, I think that people putting movies together in the next year, 2 years, 3 years are going to be like, yeah. But still, Blake Lively still has Ryan behind her. Does anybody think that their marriage might be in danger because of this situation? That, in my opinion, I don't think Ryan Reynolds is the train conductor on this frickin' train of madness. I think that he has to be part of it now, but I don't think he started it all. Maybe. Taylor Swift is even involved in it, but she's trying to take a step back and, like, imagine that. So all your friends are kind of leaving you in the lurch. Yeah, you maybe deserve it. Because of Ryan, I give it 1 year. I can see that. Ryan built the train and is the conductor. Ryan was married to Scarlett. How did I not know this? I don't think Ryan liked how close she got to Justin in the text between them. Yeah, and there's some text messages here, which we can read if you guys would like to read them. I haven't read them yet, so we can read them together. That might be fun. Hey? Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can blow them up for you guys a bit. Okay. So this is February 9th. This is like 2 years ago. Your friendship support helped me with that, so thank you. No holding to anything. Thank you for friendship side in the meantime. I don't know what that means. I bet you feel 1,000 pounds lighter. I really do. Only 20 to go. I don't know. There's no context to this. Thanks. It's left over from the book from months ago, but I see people. Maybe I'm not reading this. Okay, so kicking ass, but it's still a ton of work with not a ton of time. What's the chance we can do body scenes at the end of the schedule? Does that mean sex scenes? Because can't you just get a body double? Don't they do that? Hollywood do body doubles? I mean, I could be body double for a potato. Okay, you guys really want to watch this. I don't know if I want to do the Blake Lively being mean to Leighton Meester, but I want to watch that other one. Somebody send me that of where it's awkward. Yeah, I'm going to watch these. I will watch the Candace Owens breakdowns. Is anybody here Team Blake and Ryan? I honestly I'm not trying to throw you into the bus. I'm like, I want to know it. I think Blake's reputation has been going downhill slowly, and this was just the final straw. Plantation wedding was very not cool. What does that mean? What's a plantation wedding? What does that mean? Plantation wedding. Plantation. Like bananas? Plantain? What does that mean? Yeah, it's Brett Cooper who I watched. I got all my notes from Brett Cooper's one. I like Brett Cooper. She's really cool. I started out Team Blake, but once I heard, I think everybody started out Team Blake and Ryan till the whole thing came through. His voice memo is really creepy. You should listen to it. Didn't Justin's team release the voice memo, though? They got married at an old slave plantation. In Canada? They didn't have slavery in Canada. Oh, like they went to the States. And you're not supposed to do that? Google it. Plantation historical speaking in our antebellum clothes. Blake Lively. Plantation wedding. Oh. Wait. What? It's just a nice house? Is this like a nice house? Plantation. Like it's like from like the Django Unchained type of thing? They still exist? Those houses still exist? So you can't do that. Is that what you guys are telling me? You're not allowed to do that? Okay. I didn't know. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Dinah has a really good point here. Imagine destroying a man's life without a second thought. And like you didn't even have any justification to be angry about anything. That's the thing. Everything that Blake Lively has said here has been a lie because they came out with all the receipts. Unless I'm missing something, but I don't know. This is also true, Leslie. People can be dramatic. I get that. It's wrong to beautify slave owners' property, but it's no longer that anymore, right? It's like, are people going down there to celebrate slavery? Is that what we're saying here? I don't understand it. Like I'm Canadian. We didn't have that stuff here. I don't know. I'm not sure the appropriateness of all that, so I can't really comment on it. Don't cancel Deadpool. Johnny Depp could not do Deadpool, right? Like Deadpool's over. If that's the case, don't do anybody but Ryan Reynolds. It's not going to happen. You can do it, but you have to be from the States to truly understand why two rich white people getting married in plantations. Okay, I get it. I understand that. She was Penn Badgley? What? He's a good actor too. Justin was in a Gents Talk podcast. He genuinely seems to have wanted to make this move for the right reasons, to help victims of DA and avoid it by influencing men. Yeah. Here in the South, it isn't a big deal, but some people take it too far to make the staff mind. Oh, so it's like cosplaying it? Yeah, that's icky. Like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. I disagree with that. Someone says here, I just hard disagree. The properties have historical significance and should be protected regardless of how people feel about their history. But I don't know, you just get married there. She made a whole blog about wanting to return to a time with Southern belles in the antebellum. Okay, so I guess the antebellum era was the slave era, and we don't like that. But she likes the fashion of that era, but it was an era that was bad. I get that. I understand that. Who would want to work with an actor or actress who wants to control everything? She ended her career unless it's an independent killer movie and her Ryan finance it, write it, direct it, and act in it. Yeah. Kara says it's not glorifying slavery. It's not cosplaying. It's just beautiful. I mean, if you're gonna hire only black staff and stuff and dress from that era, I could see why people would get a little bit upset with that. I can understand that. And if there are people legitimately justified in their upsetness about that, I don't think you can overlook that. I don't think you can. I'm not gonna watch this movie now. Everybody's telling me it's so bad. It's been reported for years Ryan is controlling. He met with the executives and freaked out on Justin and demanded he could recut the movie. Why were they so upset about his cut? Apparently Justin's cut is better. What? Why are they so upset about that? They apologized for the way. Okay, so hey, if they apologized for it, they clearly they felt they were in the wrong for some level. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna cringe here. Okay, here's the releases 2 a.m. voice note. I have not heard this voice note. Okay, it's really long, but let's hear it real quick. I've never heard it. I don't know what I'm in for, but let's take a listen.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 in
You
the...
sound like a freaking radio host. Let me get my headphones. You guys hear this?
Hey, Blake. It is 2 in the morning. Hopefully this does not wake you up. Whew.
I mean,
Wow. There's so much I want to say to
it's 2 in the morning, bro. It's probably gonna wake her up. Yes, kids.
you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just gonna send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not gonna be more than a few minutes. But that I don't have the best track record. I don't think either one of us have the best track record for our voice memos. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank.
Okay, so this is 10 minutes. What was the text message that she sent him that did this? The voice message was in response to her giving him her version of the rooftop scene, and she called Taylor Swift and Ryan her dragons. Okay. I mean, Taylor Swift is not a dragon. Dragons have asses.
And I'm really sorry. I for sure fell short, and you worked really hard on that, and the way you framed it, and how that made you feel. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me. That takes a lot of trust and vulnerability, and
This guy does not sound like a misogynist to me.
I feel really grateful that you feel safe enough to tell me that that's how you feel and share that with me. And I'm really sorry. I fucked up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize.
So he's saying he effed up. Probably not a good thing to have when you're admitting that you effed up. That's all my take on that. I'm not saying that maybe he's just trying to like come to the center of this thing and like take responsibility, even if it sounds Canadian. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just like, hey, yeah, sorry. You just want to like center things by like taking responsibility, even if you aren't responsible for things. But in a court of law, that's not going to look good, I don't think.
When I fail, I am far from perfect. I'm a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And and I'm going to fuck up. I'm going to say the wrong thing. I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. I'm going to piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize and find my way back to center. That is one thing I can assure you of. And I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That must have felt terrible. And I will for sure do better. That was not my best weekend, and I should have given it more time. And damn right, you got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that. And fuck, we should all have friends like that, aside from the fact that they're two of the most creative people on the planet.
Are they? Ryan Reynolds is great. I'll give him that.
The three of you guys together is unbelievable. Talk about energy and just to force all three of you.
He's just blowing smoke up our ass. That's all he's doing right here. He's just trying to, and he's probably smart for doing it, but he's just like, you're right, man. Your friends are totes greats.
But I just wanted you to know that I didn't need that, because it's really good and it's gonna make the movie sing like you said, and I'm excited to go through the whole movie with you. I'm just excited to spend time with you. I'm excited to be in your sphere and your presence, and for us to share creative juices together, although that sounds terrible.
Don't share juices. Okay? With anybody but your spouse.
I think you and I have been trying to build a relationship, which I think we've done successfully. I mean, here we are talking like this, me into my phone at 2 a.m, but largely via text and voice note. And that, I will be honest with you, that is not my biggest strength. I love being with people and being...
Okay. Yeah. I don't need to hear the whole thing. That's... Okay. Let's see what else I got here. I want to see this interview with her and Anna Kendrick. Oh, it's gonna be awkward. I'm girding my loins here for this awkwardness. I bet you it's gonna be so awkward. Oh, please don't be that awkward. Please. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Do you block people ever?
No, I've muted some people. Now that it's a function on Twitter and Instagram, there's a couple people that I have muted.
Good.
Yeah.
Blake Lively brand loses its reputation more each time I go on the internet.
Reputation. Just reputation. That's what I listen to.
A new interview where Blake is being dismissive of the interviewer comes out. An old clip of her being rude to her Gossip Girl castmates goes around on TikTok. She's trying to sell her products while promoting a movie that is basically about domestic violence. So now, a big portion of the internet is against her and they cannot find anything to defend her. But is this really who Blake is? Has she always been this way, or is this a novelty? Let's analyze.
How did Blake Lively get her name?
My grandmother's brother was named Blake,
Oh.
but he was murdered. So thanks for asking, Google.
She's just trying to be funny there. I don't think she's having an attitude.
She's so dark.
The beginning of the end happened during the press run for the It Ends With Us movie based on the Colleen Hoover book. Even though the book and the movie look...
Okay, this isn't what I'm looking for. I want the interview with her and... What's her face? Blake interrupts people a lot. For example, the girl who played the young Lily in IEWU. Yeah. She's the worst. This is crazy. Justin Baldoni's lawyer says Blake Lively doesn't want him to depose her. So apparently there's an interview with her and Anna Kendrick that's super awkward, and Blake is just... What I think Blake is maybe trying to attempt to do in all this, and I don't know because I haven't seen it, I'm just trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, is maybe her humor is really weird, and people are taking her humor as being a dickhole. Maybe Blake is around Ryan Reynolds, like they're married together, and she has to compete with that guy whose comedy is unmatched, in my opinion. And maybe she's just developing a certain type of humor because of Ryan Reynolds. Am I wrong about that? Could it be a possibility? There's no evidence he cheated on her. Okay. It's a mean humor. Okay. So she's like trying to be funny, but it's like mean. Okay. Anna Kendrick flinches when Blake tries to touch her. It's crazy. Yeah. That's probably what it is, maybe. She called Leighton Meester a monkey? What? Monkey, basically, who was born in a cage based on her parents being incarcerated. Who would say that? Why would you say that? Regina George humor. I could see that. Send it to me on Instagram. It's the best place to send me something. Blake threatened Justin with Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, and I believe she calls, yeah, this is the big thing. And that's why he sent her that message, I think, where she's like, look, I'm glad you have dragons, and those are awesome people to have in your corner, and blah, blah, blah. But he like, I wouldn't use people like that if they don't want to be used. Martha Stewart said Ryan Reynolds was the least funny person in real life. Really? She comes on strong. People don't like that. I thought she was coming on strong because she knows most people don't like to be interviewed. If you don't want to do interviews, don't be a famous movie star. Then I think. The Dragons reference is that I guess she was claiming to be Khaleesi from House of Dragons or whatever it's called. And Khaleesi is a dragon owner, slayer, that has dragons that backs her up. And she was saying that Ryan and Taylor Swift were her dragons. And so don't F with her is basically what she was saying. I don't know, Pearl, if I can even watch that, hearing what you say. It was something like, I already work with a bunch of monkeys making fun of male co-stars. And someone born in a cage. You have to see Leighton's face. I don't know if I could watch that. Because that would make me physically, outwardly cringe. I don't think I can do that. Like, I don't know if I can do that. Blake supports Weinstein? She better not. And Blake told Anna she would be famous if it weren't for her. Wouldn't be famous for her. Anna was so offended and awkward. Said interview the orange tank top. Anna Kendrick is arguably way more famous than Blake Lively. So, who can be mean to Leighton Meester? She's such a sweetheart, I think. I don't know people in Hollywood. They just show you who they want to show you. But I feel like Leighton Meester is like a nice person. I like her. She's cute. She really supports these guys? That seems a little bit crazy. Blake is notoriously mean to interviewers. And that's just not nice. Because Ryan Reynolds, if you think about his public persona, he's very much beloved. When he does interviews, he like makes people, he does funny things. He's very good at interviews. He's very good at talking to people. Like, she's just not that. Claudia, thanks Josh for the link of the electric shovel. Purchase one. Yeah, I love it. We're ready for the big storm hitting Toronto tonight. Yeah, you're getting Toronto and I'm getting it in Ottawa. I don't know how much Toronto's getting, but I know we're getting over 20 centimeters. So good luck out there. Which one did you get? Okay, I'll look it up. Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart on Ryan Reynolds. He's not so funny in real life. No, he's not so funny. He's very serious. He's a good actor and he can act funny, but he isn't funny. That's so sad. Although, let me say this in defense of Ryan Reynolds. Can I just say this? As a person who grew up as the class clown, as a person who grew up in the friend group that I was in, I was the funny guy. Okay, I had to be. I was ugly. I am ugly. Okay, I had to overcome the ugliness and fat bastardness with being funny. And it was also the trauma that I was experiencing as a kid. I guess I realize now is manifesting it through humor. A lot of people who have trauma manifest it through humor and other ways. And so I was always the funny guy. I always was the funny guy. And can I say that sometimes when you're just, people just want to be around you because you're funny, it does hit you a little different. Right? It does. Like, you're just like, am I only here to be funny? Which is fine. If you love me because I'm funny, then I don't see a problem with that. But sometimes I can understand why you don't always want to be on. Does that make sense? Some people who are funny and are always that person that people want to be around, sometimes you just don't always want to be on. So I can say that. Ryan can be funny and also an asshole. Both true. I mean, I agree. Everybody can be that way. I can be that way. Yeah, but Ryan successfully is funny. Like, can we be real? I know this is tainting him and it's much deserved, but his stuff is hilarious. Have you ever seen Just Friends? Anyway, I'm not saying, I understand, like, you don't always want to be on, especially like if your neighbor is a convicted felon. Martha Stewart ain't that good, let's just say. Probably makes delicious food though. People have said this about me. I maybe it translates. Maybe it's a Canadian thing. I don't know. You think that Ryan was jealous of Blake's fame? Because I don't think Blake was getting much more famous from this movie. I don't think so. They apologized and weren't canceled at the time. People are just bringing crappy things they did again up now. That makes sense. And that's when things do happen with anybody, it's the internet's job and the sleuther's job to go find anything and all the things that they said. That is the nature of being on the internet. If something happens and you're relatively unknown in that thing, people will go back and look at everything. Look at Hannah Hyatt, the one we talk about here, that when her kid flinched on the internet. So people went back and found every instance of disgustingness that happened. Otherwise, she flew under the radar. Or jealous of Justin. You know what? Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I could. Justin's a hot dude, right? My wife's an actress, making and doing sex scenes and stuff. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I could do that to my wife either. I wouldn't anyway because I'm not a good actor. But I don't know how actors do that. Do you know what I mean? How you're like basically making out with someone else and seeing them naked and stuff. I don't know. I don't know how actors do that, especially married actors. I don't know how they do it. This is true. Like, I have yet to find anything that's been like negative about what he did because he counter-claimed everything that she said he did. Yes, I said this at the beginning. Emma, you're right. Justin's team is trying to just establish a pattern of behavior, and that's one of the most important things in this case. And I think that they're going to settle way before they get to court, and it's going to be millions and millions and millions of dollars. I'm telling you, millions and millions. It's acting. It's not all that steamy behind the scenes. Boobs are boobs, though. You know what I mean? Boobs are boobs. I've seen the interview with her being rude when asked how she would respond in real life to someone talking about the DV in a movie. No, I didn't see that, actually. But it sounds like she was trying to just promote her shampoo or something and telling everybody, bring your florals, and not really talking about what the movie was really about. She wasn't taking the topic of the movie too seriously. Ryan was jealous of Blake and Justin's relationship. Ryan found out Justin was in their home. I didn't know that. There was a theory saying he wanted all the raw footage from the movie to see how they were together. That's creepy. If you are both established actors and you're going to do movies with the opposite sex and do steam, I mean, that's just part and parcel of it. You shouldn't let that get to you, I don't think. Lisa, man, you missed everything. Okay? We're just going over the case, and I don't think there's anybody who is Team Blake and Justin or Ryan in this chat. She was making the movie about hope, not DV. I can see that. She refused to meet with the intimacy coordinator. Baldoni should have made her. It shouldn't have been up to her anyway. I agree. But again, we got to consider Baldoni as a guy who's not trying to make waves. He's just trying to make everybody, he's a people pleaser. That's what it sounds like. He's just like, everybody on this side, let's just come together in the middle. He sounds like a peacemaker. That's what it sounds like he is. All right, Aris, I am Team Ronald Blake, finally. Good for being honest. What? He slapped a kid? No. Yeah, if anyone should be comfortable, it should be Blake. The first Deadpool movie has this. Yeah, there's some craziness in that movie. Yeah, I think that if this does go to trial, which it won't, because everybody is on, like, it's not even close, man. They're not going to court. They're going to settle, 100%. This lore has been absolute chokehold on Hollywood. Baldoni has a billionaire behind him fighting for him. And I wonder if this billionaire behind Baldoni, what he has, why he's fighting with Baldoni, is it because he has beef with Blake and Ryan? I don't know. They moved to Charlotte, so if I see them in public, I'll be Team Ryan. They moved to Charlotte? That's pretty cool, I guess. Am I out of focus? My internet might be going crazy here. Yeah, this is another thing. A lot of people say Ryan doesn't trust his wife. It will not be televised. It is a federal lawsuit. It's federal? I thought it was It's not civil. They're not suing each other civilly. Are you sure? At least it's okay. It's Hollywood tea. In the end, it doesn't mean shit to anybody. We're just having a convo about it. You're right. And you think about all the issues that are going on in the world right now, and this is one of the biggest stories in the world. Although everybody's been begging me to talk about it, so I think it's an important talk. I think if we tag it into this idea that what Blake is doing, if she is wrong in what she's doing, she's making it detrimental for, again, as a girl dad, making it detrimental for other women who want to come forward with real things. That's pretty dangerous here, what she's doing. Oh, because it's out of New York, and this, you're right. And I think that they wanted it in a New York court so that it cannot be televised. I think you're right about that. It's Hollywood, man. They're all like this. Yep. I had a friend, story time. His name was Scotty. Scotty came to Ottawa when I was here, when I had moved here, and I met Scotty way back in the day. He was staying at this like house for students who were coming from some Christian university out west. And this house was for students who wanted to work for politicians. It was a weird thing, but it's whatever school, it was like a law type school. And he came here, it was a Christian thing, and they were working for all these politicians. So it was a semester in Ottawa working for politicians. Anyway, Scotty was like super good looking, super funny, super endearing. Everybody loved Scotty. Everybody loved Scotty. Okay, he was from California. He had the cool hair, beautiful jawline. He was like, and he wanted to like do acting. He's like wanted to try it. And so he was on like the OC a couple of times, and he was living that Hollywood life. And I remember going to see him. And this is a guy who was like a diehard believer back in the day when we were all in church. Okay, I don't know. I'm telling you a story, but it's Hollywood. And I was working for WestJet at the time as a ground handler, and we used to get buddy passes if we met our goals. And we were the most epic goal severing. Like, we killed it. Okay, that's how good we were. We got free buddy passes, and we could go anywhere that WestJet flew for $99. So me and the boys, we went to Hollywood because Scotty was there trying to be in the industry, trying to be acting and getting all these jobs. And he had an apartment with another guy. He let us sleep on his couch. We went to Hollywood, and it was so crazy because Scotty was such a diehard straight edge dude. And when he entered into the world of Hollywood and was partying with these people and getting into them, he was smoking cigarettes. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. He was like, look, man, you can't even party with these people. You can't get better jobs unless you're in the inner circle. And to be in the inner circle, you have to do drugs. You have to go to these parties and do the things that these people do. Now, mind you, this is back in 2005, 2006. So it might have been a little different, but he's like, you can't even get into this industry unless you sell your soul. You can't. And he was trying his hardest to balance it and do both things. And he was having a hard time with his faith and stuff. And it just, in the end, he left church, I think, and he didn't go back. And Hollywood ruined this guy. And he was one of the coolest guys I ever met in my life. That's also the time I went to Price is Right when Bob Barker was still there. But yeah, Scotty took his life a few years after that. And it was just it's a crazy story. Hollywood should be dismantled, I think. It should be dismantled. Hollywood is a bad place, especially for young people, especially for children. Children should be nowhere near Hollywood, nowhere near movies, nothing like that. Yeah, this is a good point, Catherine. As a boy mom, it's scary to have to explain them that this can happen and their life can end when someone wants to be petty. And it has ruined lots of people's lives. That's why I've taught my sons about consent, and consent is everything. And consent can be taken away at any moment. To teach my daughter this too. But I want my sons to understand that, because it is a danger that we do live in a world like this. It is. And Blake and people who do this falsely, they make it so that women can't have the voice that they deserve. I think that's true. There are so many addicts in the industry because misery loves company. Okay, the industry is rife with people who have money and power. And when you have money and power and you can have anything you want, and you can have anything, I mean every luxury, everything you want, any woman or man you want, when you have everything and you've had it all, you no longer can be satiated. Okay? And so what you do is you either turn to drugs, alcohol, whatever, or you turn to illegal acts, Epstein type thing, right? And what happens is you get so dark into that thing, and then you end up dragging everybody with you because you want people to be miserable with you. The Hollywood is like the epitome of like peer pressure in high school. But all of Hollywood is like that. All of it is. If you ever got an honest answer about anybody who's lived in Hollywood, they would tell you this exact same thing. I'm not saying that Scotty was a big actor. He was on the OC a bunch of times. He did a bunch of stuff, but he was already seeing the pattern early on because they were asking him to come party with him and get him on the inner circle, and they wanted him to do what they were doing. And the drugs were plenty and they were free. Everybody wants you to be a part of it because they want you to be on their level. They don't want you to think you're better or different. And if you don't do it, you don't get the... Look at Weinstein. Weinstein was the same way. You want these roles, you do these things. And they did those things. And there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of women out there who came to Hollywood, had to do disgusting things to get the roles, and they'll never talk about it. Hollywood is disgusting, guys. Look at Tom Holland. I love this guy. He's a great actor. I think he's my favorite Spider-Man. He's so cool. And he's like, as soon as I have what I need, I'm effing out. He's out. I love it. Diddy things, exactly. But again, Ryan Reynolds and Blake, they don't live in Hollywood. They live in Vancouver. Now you say they live in Charlotte. Like they cultivated their image to a point where everybody kind of loved them. They weren't part of Hollywood. Ryan was so powerful, he didn't really need Hollywood. But in the end, they just became the same type of person, just different kind of power. They wanted to destroy somebody. For what reason? Did she want to destroy Justin Baldoni because she wanted the scripts? Because if that's the case, man, I hope Justin Baldoni takes $400 million, because that's disgusting. That's greedy. And just don't do that. Why would you ruin someone's life for a script? Yeah, it's the reason why Justin Bieber's been so protective over Billie Eilish. But that's ship has sailed, guys. I don't know if you knew that. Billie Eilish is in it. Justin Bieber is one of the most sad cases of child exploitation I've ever seen in my life. And I'm a huge Justin Bieber fan. Massive Bieber fan. Super talented kid. Went down the wrong path. Hang out with Diddy. Hang out with the wrong people because his mother didn't give a shit about him. Let's be real. So any parent who lets their kid do that, sorry. And Hollywood expects these kids that are on this level of fame to emancipate from their parents. It happens all the time. She wanted control, but like ruin someone's life to get control, because in the end, her cut is what went out and everything else. That seems crazy. I think Andrew Garfield was better, but the movies weren't written well. You know what, Will? I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Andrew Garfield is good. I love all the Spider-Mans. And the third Spider-Man, when they all came together, like, has there been any better moment in cinematic history? Except for the last battle of, what's it called? The Avengers? Has there been anything better? I'm always on the women's side until they lie and accuse a man wrongly. That's just disgusting, right? But the issue is that when too many women do it, eventually the world will shift and say, well, we don't believe any women. And that's dangerous. No, I'm not going to watch this movie. My wife, I think, watched it. Maybe. Did she? My wife watches garbage. She's a garbage watcher. My daughter and I watched the Beast games because my daughter likes to watch the Beast games, and I like it too. I got hooked. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a huge fan of Mr. Beast and all this crap that went down, but it's an amazing show, and my wife hates Mr. Beast. She thinks she takes advantage of too many people. She thinks he's rotten to the core, and my wife is roots for the underdog, loves everybody, has nothing bad to say about anybody, but does not like Mr. Beast. And even her reluctantly watching it with us, she's like, she was hooked. I'm sorry, she's hooked. I'm mad at YouTube for not telling me we're live. Oh, yeah, F off, YouTube. I will. I'll listen. I have a long drive in the mornings now to my gym. I started this new gym, and I absolutely love it. I love this gym. It's private pickleball courts, has private boxing classes, a massive gym. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I go every day, and it lets me have 33 minutes of listening to something. So I'll do that. So 33 minutes each way. He gives me bad vibes. There's something there with Mr. Beast, especially after the text thread. Yeah, there is. Yeah. Honestly, I built a gym in my house. I don't even like using it. I'm getting rid of it because I like going to the gym. It's more, for some reason, more accountability. And there's a lot of, if you go to a gym that has a lot of gym bros, those gym bros are always happy. Not always, but most of the time, if you approach someone politely and be like, can you show me? They love to show you stuff. Gym bros, right? Yeah, that's the Mr. Beast thing with the anime stuff was pretty weird. I agree about Mr. Breast. I know what you mean. Yeah, Carrie, yes. Mr. Beast smiles without his eyes. That's yes. I'm trying to pinpoint that. Himself has groomed himself to be this person, and he just does it like it's a natural muscle flex. He doesn't genuinely smile. I agree with you on that. Friend's story. Where? I went celeb events. They had naked men and women, bow ties, and trays of Coke and X. What? Yeah, I don't believe. I believe it. Again, when you have more money than you'll ever know what to do with, more money than you can ever spend. This is the thing about like having too much of a good thing. You then no longer like look at Doherty Dozen's kids as a small example of microcosm. Okay, those kids have literally so much sugar and sweets and everything given to them. Nintendo Switches, iPhones, iPads, gaming systems, everything that they can ever want. Anything that kid could ever want. They have multiples of it. Anytime they want. And if they break it, they get another one. They never have to work or be excited for anything. Those kids, the dopamine density that they have, that is going to be really bad because when they can no longer receive those dopamine hits that come naturally from being normal, they're going to turn to other things like drugs, like alcohol, and like other things. And that's going to be really bad because once again, you have too much of a good thing. You want what you can't have. That's Hollywood in a nutshell. Yeah, it's a good conversation about this stuff. I like having the conversations with you about this. I tell my kids no sometimes just so they hear no, and it's true. My kids have. I would consider myself a dad who spoils my children. Okay, but at the same time, they don't get anything they want anytime they want. I'm not like a Lush. Okay, like Alicia Doherty does. I'm not that way. My kid, if Westy wants his Legos, no problem. I love that he's creative in that sense. He's got to work for it. He's got his own money, or he has to do chores, or this and that. My kids have chores, and they're really good at it, and they don't complain. Sorry, sometimes they do, but that's just kids being kids. But they work for what they get. They get what they want, but they work for it. And they don't just get it handed to them on a silver platter because I want my kids to understand it. As soon as my daughter is old enough to make money and babysit, we put her in a babysitting course. She already has that. She's going to go make money. As soon as she's old enough to work at 16, she's going to go get a job. Will she get the things I want her to have because I never had them? Yes. But she's also going to learn the value of money. Yeah, it's been good. How you doing, Will? Yeah, I like going live. I like the daytime live just because I didn't have a video ready, but I like these. I'm a nanny, and the baby pooped and threw up on me and fell asleep. So that sounds nice. Conjoined twin. Me and creepy makeup baby. This background is not doing very well right now. Something's up with it. Yeah, I want my kids to be very, very well-adjusted adults. Tyson, he's 22 now, and like he's a good kid. He's a really, 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 really good kid, and I built into him a lot, and I'm really proud of him. Yeah, it's crazy. Skin in the game. Yep. And my kids, again, because I grew up with nothing, and literally nothing, especially protection and against people who hurt me and everything else. I didn't have any of that. My kids, I overdo it. My wife doesn't. I do. My wife grew up in a normal home with money and like middle class and all that kind of stuff, and is not like me at all. I don't want my kids to miss out on anything because I have fear of missing out because I missed out on everything when I was a kid. My daughter wants to go to Europe for a high school, trip. I'm like, all right, we'll figure it out. I will make it happen. Because, like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, she's going to have to understand how to earn it. Yeah, Tyson got so good in the past couple years. You guys want to talk about the backgrounds? So I keep changing it. But here's a poster, a dad bod poster for my podcast. There's Creepy Makeup Baby. Here's the Haunted Wooden Spoon. Here's the pineapple. Here's the Jess Fam slide. You can see that here. She's going through the tube with her yellow bikini. That's Doherty. That's obviously Kira's huge giant forehead. Behind me there's nothing because you can't really see it. But I add stuff to this all the time. There's another poster. You can't see it, but it's like right here. Another poster. Oh, here. Poster and then Grammar Police. Yeah, and I continue to change the Easter eggs. Oh man, I should put a cart back here, or like right here, full of groceries. I added the thumb, but you can't. And it's not in here. It's over here somewhere. So the new picture didn't work. So I'll add it again. Oh, that's a good one. Crystal's teeth. Oh yeah, we should just watch Trailer Parks together. Trailer Park Boys. If you guys have not seen Trailer Park Boys, do yourself a favor. Okay, go watch Trailer Park Boys. It's so good. The wooden spoon is the haunted wooden spoon from Micah Stauffer era, because she had this wooden spoon she was stirring with and it was like disgusting, and I called it a haunted wooden spoon and it stuck. Oh, Wheelchair Rapunzel. Ugh. Yeah, I'll update Kira this week probably. I haven't done her in a long time. Apparently she's disappeared. Something's going on, and I got to be careful when I navigate stuff, because if she's acting out of sorts, I know that I make fun of her a lot, that I don't want to like pile on if the shit is hitting the fan for her. I know that sounds like it's karma and you deserve it, but I don't see any value in like, and I know it sounds so hypocritical of me, but like I don't, if there is something actually going on, I probably wouldn't comment on it until it's over. I just don't like, you know what I mean? Like, I know I snark to raise awareness, but and I know I'm mean, but I'm not that mean. When Kendall Rich's husband cheated on her, I messaged her and I said, look, I know I don't like you guys at all, but that's shitty, and I'm really sorry that happened to you. I'm backing off for a while, right? So I have some humanity, I guess, a little bit. I try to. But have you really tried to watch it? Have you really given it that? It's endearing to me. I don't know. You gotta, and we now have Trailer Park Boys chips here, and I'm gonna go buy a bunch and send them out to people. Yes, I will cover the Flu Island family. They've been on my list for a long time. I'm just looking for videos of what I should be doing. Absolutely will. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. I actually am. I'm a softie. Yeah. Delicious Foot is a building. Yeah. So the galaxies in TikTok. So apparently it is digital panhandling. TikTok battles. You debate or argue with somebody and then you win, and people like throw money at you. It's really weird. It's like bum fights. And if I were to do it, I would likely lose because it's their audience, like a popularity contest, right? Unless you guys all came over and voted for me. That's how it works. I'd like to try it, though, because I want to destroy these people. Oh, the chips are cool. Like Zesty Morton, dressed all over. They're all like the names that Ricky had for the chips. It's really, really cool. How do I get into a battle, though? Do I just like go on TikTok and say, battle me? Where is it? How do I battle? Battle.
So what is the TikTok battle? TikTok live battles are a monetization feature within the TikTok platform's live streaming function. Creators can initiate battles where they go head-to-head in short-form streams, competing to earn the most virtual gifts from viewers. Gifts are purchased by viewers using coins that can be purchased in-app. The streamer who accumulates the highest amount of value in terms of virtual gifts wins at the end of the battle. Viewers on TikTok are able to send in virtual gifts in real time during live stream. These gifts are represented by...
I don't care. How do I get on a battle? I'm gonna go find one right now with you guys. How do I get on a TikTok battle? Should we do one together? I'll probably get beat, but let's try it anyway. This is 8 Mile. Beg talk, yeah. Yep. You have to have a certain number of followers. A ton. Oh, you have to have a ton of followers. Oh, okay. Go live, then live with someone and hit battle. Okay.
Post Super Bowl Monday.
How do I go live on here? Oh, here we go. Let's put it here. Practice mode. What the heck? Needs my birthday? Man, if you have to scroll that much for your birthday, you're getting old. For the year? Facial age estimation. Hey, what? Yeah, let's take a picture of my face. So how much you think how old I am? How old do you think this thing's going to think I am? Age confirmed. That's awesome. Dual? Pretty cool. Okay, I'm live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Someone I want to battle. Someone send me a battler. Put Michelle BXO or whatever her name's on here, or whatever. Yeah, the Ashley thing is not even... I haven't even scraped the surface yet. Phone's ringing. Okay, I need to battle somebody, so find me somebody to battle. Add live goal. Maybe I can't because I'm too small of a creator on there. Yeah, Ashley's disgusting. Trevino? Ew. Thanks, Lorena. Jimenez. How do I battle? Hey, I've never seen you in live. You're kidding me. Hi, I'm on 2 lives right now, but I want to battle one of these dickholes that battle all the time. Ugh. She's just gross. TikTok is Dad Challenge Podcast. And I have 34 people in my chat right now. Boom! Need your requests on. How do I do that? Requests on. Guests. With this feature, you can invite viewers, check requirements, unlock, get, oh, I have to meet a whole bunch of freaking parameters in order to do that. So I guess I'll do that. Darn it. Yes, I heard about this too. So Ashley Trevino, a ring of, and it's crazy. These parents aren't watching what their kids are doing online, and it's crazy to me. The gifters that are giving her money are like small children, which is crazy. Oh, I'll be covering Nick and DY, I promise you that. There's like 55 people on TikTok. Is that good? Let me try something here. we go. I'm going live. I am live on here. And then I'll go here. Here. DCP Inception. Wait. Yeah. DCP Inception. Wait. Yeah. Duration is longer than 27% of other creators. So in order for me to battle, I have to open up
Duration is longer than 27%.
And my requirements are I have to go live for 30 minutes or more.
So in order for me to
3
battle,
times,
I have to open up yes.
and I have to go live
And my
on
requirements
3 separate
are
days.
I have to go live for 30 minutes or more 3 times.
3 separate days to unlock.
And I have to
anything.
go
So I'm
live
not
on
even
3
there yet.
separate days.
Anyway, that was weird. Can you imagine me in a multiverse? My poor wife. I mean, if it's bringing money in, I understand why people do it. I want to battle people to debate with them about how wrong they are. That's all. I don't care about the money. I don't get money anyway. I'm Canadian on TikTok, but I would love to talk to these people and have conversations. Dude, you should start a call-in show like this dude named Dr. John, and people can be like, why does my marriage suck? And you can be like, 'cause you suck. I could do that. I could give some dad advice. Enter the dad advice. I mean, I'm not a professional in anything, so. Crazy. I have 4,100 followers? Do I really? 4. Cool. Oh, okay. With outside the creator funded, it's okay. You can. I don't care about that anyway. I want to battle these people. I'm going to figure out how to battle on TikTok. Hey, join my team. What does that do? What was that? Thanks for the heart. No. This is one thing it won't change. Things in the movie industry. If that were the case, it would have already changed a long time ago. Yeah, I think I'm going to do call-ins. Like, so people can call in to, like, how do I do that? Do I send them a phone number? Would I, like, send them the link to this and they come on the show? Oh, yeah, we talked about Blake for like an hour. We definitely did. Best advice for overcoming traumatic childhood. Therapy. Get to it as soon as you possibly can. And also understand this. This is one thing that helped me out a lot as I got older. What we thought was normal when we were children, especially children who were abused and SA'd like me, that's not normal. Recognizing that that's not normal will really help you understand that it's not normal. Like, do you know what I mean? So, like, that's our normal growing up. But when we step outside of it and we see other people with normal housing and normal lives and normal all this kind of stuff, that's normal. And realizing that nothing that ever happened to you when you were a child, and I know this is so cheesy to say this, none of it was your fault. You were not protected. You didn't have somebody to come help you. None of it is your fault. And when you realize that, and a lot of people, especially children who grew up in SA situations, live with a lot of guilt. Okay? Once you realize that you're not guilty and it's not your fault, then you can sort of start moving on. Because if you don't get therapy and understand these things, you will live to regret it through panic attacks and anxiety as you get older. Oh, here she is. Okay, doctor, Dr. Leslie Dosman is going to come on, and she's going to try to convince me that I need to be on Team Blake and Ryan's side. Here, I'm going to send you the link in Instagram. Okay. Okay, so Dr. Leslie apparently is somebody who is pro Blake and Ryan, and I want to hear what she has to say because I want to know what's on the other side of this, and I think that's true. Hey, 7.6 thousand hearts in this thing. I already can't disagree with her more based on all the legal filings and receipts. Okay. All right. Well, she's gonna come on. She's gonna try to convince me. Look, it's not about swaying. If she has a legitimate argument, I'm listening. I'm listening. And we're friends. It is a wild take. I agree with you. After all we talked about and all we're seeing, I think it's a wild take. But there's got to be somebody on the other side, some level, right? Dr. Leslie is hot. I'll tell her you said that. I don't know if she's watched Candace Owens' take on it yet, but also I haven't. So that's probably a good place. Hey, Dr. Leslie.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, my face is just huge. I got to figure out how to back up.
I can do this. How's that?
Good.
Okay. So here's the live. I didn't have a video for today because my kids are sick and I just didn't have one. So I wanted to talk about the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively case because I'm a huge fan of Ryan Reynolds. Like, huge fan. Like, he did Wrexham. I wanted to go to Wrexham to watch a game. I love all of his movies. He's Canadian. He's funny. And then this all happens, right? We talked for about an hour about this whole case. I don't know all the ins and outs, all the details, but the overarching, high level view of what we've seen, there's maybe two people in this chat of like, there was 2,000 people at one point, and two people were team Blake and Ryan. And so you're team Blake Ryan. I need you to convince me that I need to be team Blake Ryan.
Okay. Well, I think what you just said is exactly the convincing. I don't know all the ins and outs of this case.
Okay. So
I'll
tell you what I know. I'll tell you what I know. And then you tell me what you know and why you believe what you believe. Because, I mean, again, in the end, let's think about this for a second. In the end, it's Hollywood drama. The only thing that really bothers me about this in the end, apparently people think you're super hot, by the way. Thanks for blessing people's eyes.
I should have worn something sexier.
Like this Carhartt sweater. But
unfortunately, I'm spending my time doing civil celebrity lawsuits right now.
But hear me out. The only reason that this would have an impact on society as a whole is because of the idea of the Me Too movement being weaponized against Justin Baldoni. Now other than that, and I know that's a big part of it, other than that, this is just Hollywood tea. In the end, does it really affect our lives to that degree, right?
It may.
Yeah. So my take on this was that I don't think that Ryan, and I could be wrong, a lot of people disagree with me, I don't think that Ryan Reynolds was the mastermind of this whole thing. I think he had to jump in on this because Blake dug a hole too deep and couldn't get out of it, and now Taylor's backing off and everybody's backing off, and Ryan, as her husband, his responsibility is to step in and be like, I got to because it's my wife. So he's got to step in and be a protector and use the clout, everything he has, because that's his family, which I agree with. What I don't agree with, is trying to destroy a guy's life for what looks like wanting to have control over movie rights and all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of where we landed.
I think my assumption working in this industry, particularly celebrities who sue the shit out of each other, is that this is much bigger than these actors. Mm-hmm. This is much bigger than the movie. This is a corporation that buries bodies. So anything that really did happen was probably minimized, swept under the rug, and people were threatened, and people are genuinely terrified for the loss of their job and for the loss of growing in the field.
So you think, if I'm hearing that correctly, it sounds like people are scared of Ryan Reynolds' power in Hollywood and why...
Oh, not Ryan Reynolds.
Hollywood in general.
People who fund movies. The people
the dark behind the scenes Hollywood money. That's what we never see. We don't, and on purpose. So you're saying, are you saying that there's somebody behind Justin Baldoni that has something to protect or something to gain from all this?
Well, if you look at it in a simple form, of course they have money to gain, right? They want to put in as little as possible and make as much on a movie. Now, if somebody's coming out and saying that cast members are harassing them or straight up sexually abusing them, they're not going to make the movie, right? They're going to get out of their contracts. They're going to get out of their NDAs. Everything gets canceled and everyone is fucked financially. So we got to shut that down, right? We got to quiet these people. We got to minimize what is happening and we got to keep the movie going forward.
Oh, I see.
That's the most simple perspective.
Okay, so I'm going to break down like I'm 5. So there are dark business behind this saying that if she's accusing Justin Baldoni of doing this, the dark Hollywood Weinstein types don't want that information out there because they don't want how the sausage is made to get it to the public because overall that's bad for Hollywood.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about Hollywood though. It's bad for them.
Yeah. But in the
And
end,
how many times have they done it? God forbid, if someone took Blake seriously, then other actresses might come out and take her claims seriously too. They might then come out and say, "Wait, Justin did that to me too. Wait, he did that to me on the CW. Wait, he did that to me on Jane the Virgin. Wait, he has a pattern. Wait, someone's been covering up that pattern."
But don't you think that would have happened already, considering how big this is? Like if the women haven't come out against Baldoni already, why haven't they?
Because they will be sued for hundreds of millions of dollars. The monetary amount of these lawsuits is an intimidation tactic towards these actresses. These actresses aren't like really, really rich and famous. I mean, these aren't big people. These are people who are literally probably living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, I don't think we realize. I don't think we realize people in Hollywood actually do struggle. The top 1%, again, like YouTube, like anywhere else, are the ones who make all the big money. The ones, I think people that we sometimes think are famous, especially this comes in as a guy who played in a band for 10 years. I toured and played with a lot of big musicians. You'd be surprised at who doesn't make any effing money. Fame is one thing, especially, but sometimes the fame doesn't always translate over into riches.
Yeah, and they're always chasing the next movie. So who is going to want to hire someone who could potentially get litigious? This is still a very male-driven industry. So, who's going to want to hire some bitch that talks about things she doesn't like?
Yeah, so I'm seeing your side. What we're going to see is a lawsuit that's going to take. Do you think that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively will settle before this thing happens in 2027?
No, I could see Justin Baldoni settling.
Oh, because he's going to be. But if this dark money behind Justin Baldoni is legitimate, it's by a billionaire. Why would they not continue to pursue it unless something happens where then they're like, okay, we're out because there's got to be a point where it's like what's that? When your airplane goes by, it's past the point of no return.
The point of no return is when they realize they actually have to go to court and the documents in evidence showing sexual abuse will be exposed and they have ruined their careers.
And I think everybody in this case probably would ruin their career at that point. And are you saying then that you think that Blake and Ryan probably have some receipts, evidence that has not been put out yet?
100%. And I have worked so many of these cases, and the pattern of how this has gone, this blast of Justin Baldoni's retaliation towards the initial lawsuit tells me that he wants to make sure this does not go to court.
So it started on one side where she said something, and then it went so far the other way, and now we're kind of waiting for the pendulum to swing back to the middle, or back to Baldoni, or back to them, and we want to see where it lands. So it's an interesting take. I'll give you that. A lot of people are asking if you binge the content that Candace Owens put out about this whole case, because I have not seen it.
I did. I think Candace has paid a lot of money to say the shit she says. I'm paid nothing. I think there's a lot of propaganda in the way that she speaks, and she does dangle a bit of truth, but then she goes into conspiracy and lies. And it's hard for an audience who's kind of flippantly watching it to realize that they're walking on this fantasy path with her. And she's very confident in how she speaks, which I think engages the audience. And then you feel like you want to believe her too. But we can't forget that she has an agenda. She did all this and then she launched her book. So
Yeah.
she's using these people to benefit her career, and she doesn't give two shits about them.
I've never seen the content. I do. I think she's very well spoken. I don't really watch Scandalo and stuff. I haven't really ever done it. But I mean, it's a good. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just like, I like to have both sides presented. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that I'm not, to some degree, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist in certain things. I told a story about a guy that I grew up with, was one of my close buddies, who went to Hollywood and it ruined his life. Like, it just ruined his life. He was only on the OC a couple of times and he tried all these things. And it was like and he was telling me that you can't even be a part of the inner circle unless you engage in the things that they engage in, which is a lot of times drugs and partying and debauchery and everything else. And if you're not part of that, you're not ever going to be bigger. And I think if Hollywood, people who are in Hollywood, were able to tell the truth, and some have told the truth, were able to actually tell the truth about it all, it's probably everybody's experience who's in the upper echelons of Hollywood.
Yeah, and you also have to remember that what you hear is, what you see in the media is highly fabricated. I mean, Justin Baldoni's attorney is first and foremost a publicist and a crisis PR manager, and then an attorney. So why would they include any information that's going to incriminate him in the timeline? Why would they put anything in there that's going to make him look bad? They didn't. That's all the stuff that you can assume that's in evidence.
Yeah. So,
and also
one of us is going to be wrong and right, because if Blake comes out with receipts that are going to shift this whole narrative, that is going to be insane. And I think you might be onto something if they don't settle. If Blake and Ryan don't settle, then likely they've got some kind of bombshell.
And other people too. A sexual predator doesn't just have one victim. So for them to come forward, the whole thing is ridiculous to me, because this is just a silly little movie. And for this narrative to be that they want the money and the rights to the movie, they can go get a million other movies and make them amazing, right? So there are other women. For Blake Lively to come out and do this and potentially ruin her career shows me that she is standing up for women. She is standing up for her daughters, and what I'm assuming, other women on set that were abused by him and don't have the voice to stand up quite yet. And I'm hoping that they do. I wish Blake would make a public statement or something, but I imagine this is extremely difficult for the whole world to be turned against you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good question here. Why wouldn't Blake put out evidence to sway public image? Makes no sense to be canceled for nothing. And I would argue and say, yeah, Blake, if they've got something, unless they've got a different type of plan, why are they not coming out with it?
I think some of the evidence is just so bad that it can't be seen by the public, and it needs to be held in federal court, and just, journalists can talk about it after they see the trial. But it's not something that should be shown, let's say allegedly it's Blake's nude body in a video. Why would the world need to see that? So, keeping some grace and respect for her and the court system.
Interesting. I mean, it's good. I kind of like hearing all sides. The interesting take on it that I'm hearing is that also not putting out everything that they have is a short-term pain for a long-term gain. So it could be they're playing the long game where they're saying, we're not going to put this out there because it'll be literally tried and convicted in a court of public opinion before it ever gets touched in court.
Then I ask you this question. Why is Justin taking the opposite route in this? Why is he okay having everything tried in the court of public opinion?
And you're probably because his lawyer is a PR guy, and he understands the power of PR could sway public opinion, and because if you go to a federal court, does it not have to? Is it going to be with people? What the hell's the word?
Jury?
Oh my god, jury. Yes. Isn't that
yeah,
what's gonna happen?
I mean, It depends on the situation. The judge could say this is so just effing appalling that we're not going to have a jury. But in Blake's demand, it was a demand for a jury trial. But it goes any which way by the end.
Apparently, Candace Owens is super hot too. Lisa here is she's a cheerleader of all women. Okay, that's awesome. I mean, I'm glad to have all sides and all takes. It's been good having you on. I appreciate you coming here, and because let's be real, Dr. Leslie, you have had to stand in the face of hate and different opinions for a little while. One of your biggest scandals, obviously, is the grocery carts. Let's be real. So taking the other side, and the thing is, I had a great conversation with you about the idea of these men that you have to deal with in prisons, and your take. I mean, you're a very educated woman. You've got a lot of interesting takes, and I love it. And so I take you have weight. Your voice has weight to me. So I appreciate you being on.
Thanks for the random DM, and I'm glad I saw it.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate you, and I'm sure everybody will agree with you. Stay in the chat.
I did, though, put up on my YouTube a longer explanation. It's like 45 minutes of my opinion last night. I just couldn't fucking take it anymore. So anyways, that's up there.
We'll go watch it.
Bye.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Leslie. All right, guys. What do we think? Now we can talk shit. No, it's okay. I like Dr. Leslie. Again, in the end, I would never throw like, this is not that much of an important topic to be like super divisive on, but hey, there's some stuff that she said, but there's lots of things. So Justin is not on the same level as Blake and Ryan. Remember, Blake has dragons and Justin does not. I think I agree with you, but what I think Dr. Leslie is saying is that there's big money behind Justin Baldoni, and she's saying that it's important to be dumbed down so that women don't have the voice that they should have, right? If that's what I heard. But yeah, I disagree, but I get her mindset. I love the divisiveness. It's good. It's a good thing. Hey, we're still at 21 people over here on TikTok. It's awesome. Justin is innocent. She's delusional. Big money behind Ryan and Blake. They thought they were. Yeah. Don't forget, I think Ryan Reynolds probably worth hundreds of millions of dollars, by the way, too. So it's not like he's not a little person, but it will be interesting. The one thing I did take away from Dr. Leslie's conversation is it will be interesting if Blake and Ryan do not settle, then I'm going to assume they've got something. They've got something pretty big. She said she doesn't know how much about it. Hard to hear after that. I don't know much about it either. But I like that you guys know a lot and that we can talk about it. It's pretty cool. This is true. Alex says there's bigger money behind Blake. She has Sony's support. Sony's a big deal. It's an interesting conversation that we're going to have to follow. All right, guys, I got to wrap it up. I got to make some lunch and stuff for people. 2:00. Justin Baldoni. You've been a treat, Lisa. Let's just say you've been fun. Yeah. This is another take. Blake is a narcissist. She won't settle because she truly believes she's right. I tend to agree. I mean, people in Hollywood are these type of people. Like, super famous people are, you know. I don't think for a second they'll back down. She lied and will take it to the grave like Amber Heard. Has Amber Heard never come out and said that she's wrong at all, ever? It's true. And if Taylor is such a good friend of Blake, why doesn't she come out and support? Because don't you think Taylor Swift would know those things? Like, if Taylor Swift is backing out of the friendship, do you not think that Blake said, here's some evidence that only, like, their rich friends would know that wouldn't leak? And if Taylor knew that stuff, why would she back off on her friendship? But yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. That was pretty fun. We should do these more often. Wednesday, hump day chats with Josh. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you being here. And I will see you tomorrow for the Dockety Dozen video. Bye!